Novo Nordisk, is this a stock you should buy right now? That's what we're going to try to answer here in this analysis video. I like to simplify things, and I'm going to discuss 6 metrics in this analysis: earnings growth, PE ratio, dividends, return on equity, free cash flow, and intrinsic value. They're then put on a 0 to 99 grade scale so it's easier to visualize the different numbers I'm going to throw at you in this video. The first 5 metrics mostly deal with how good of a business we have. No point investing if it's an undervalued piece of crap. That's why I save intrinsic value near the end. Earnings growth is by far the most important metric. A company that doesn't grow doesn't survive for long. Novo Nordisk has decent growth at 7.2% per year going forward. Growth is there, but in the long term, that's not what I want to see. For PE ratio, most people look at it as a valuation metric. I don't base my intrinsic value on the PE ratio. The PE ratio to me is a measurement of hype. Too high and there's just too many eager eyes on the stock. Too low and we might have a hidden gem. Novo Nordisk has a very high PE ratio at 42.03. The hype is just too hot right now. Too many speculators around the stock. Dividends should be an obvious metric and something a lot of people ignore. I'm going to put it out there. If you buy a stock that doesn't pay you anything, you're speculating. You're not investing. Novo Nordisk pays a pedestrian dividend at 0.96%. Fortunately, you'll get paid, but not as much as I'd like to see. For return on equity, it tells me a lot about the management. It shows me how efficiently my investment dollars will be treated if I were to buy the stock. Novo Nordisk has great management with an ROE of 81.4%. This company is running like a well-oiled machine in terms of investment efficiency. Free cash flow is my way to quickly evaluate how dominant of a company we're dealing with. The more cash available, the better opportunities to buy up other companies, the better to research, and more money for marketing. Novo Nordisk has an okay cash flow to the tune of $9.4 billion. There's enough cash to make some moves, but not enough to compete against the majors. Okay, as I said, these 5 metrics we just went over tell me what kind of business we're dealing with. With a business grade of 52, we're dealing with an average business. The hype around the stock is just too high, and free cash flow can be higher. But before we get our intrinsic value, consider joining my Patreon and get access to every grade from every company I've analyzed. It's updated all the time. Go to patreon.com/GrowthShares or click on the link in the description. As I said, we know what kind of business we have, but let's see what the price tells us in terms of attractiveness. Novo Nordisk is worth $99 per share. Right now we're looking at a very expensive stock. Going back to hype, there's just too much speculation on this stock. And now that we've got all the numbers down, we put it all together and get our final grade. Novo Nordisk has a final grade of 44, and that makes it a below average long-term investment. For me, that business is okay. If it were trading at fair value, this would be a better investment, but it's not. But hey, after this video comes out, anything can happen in the next few days, weeks, months, even years. But long-term is always longer than you expect. Keep this in mind. It took Warren Buffett 45 years to become a billionaire. Invest wisely, and as always, take care of your money.